Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Scale Modeling. How are we all this beautiful weekend, or in my case, Sunday morning, 4 a.m. The stars are out, so it looks like it's going to be another nice day like yesterday. And I got a little bit sunburnt yesterday, especially on the palms, backs of my hands got burnt. I was riding the motorbike yesterday, and I wear a long sleeve top that's a thermal top that is cool, just for the fact that you get sunburnt riding on your arms. But I don't have gloves, and I need to get some gloves because the backs of my hands got red. Anyway, good ride. Good ride. I'll talk about that later. But how is everybody? Let's have a look at the comments and see who's in. I can see about, oh gosh, over a dozen people, nearly 20 people in already. My God, the gang's there. If anybody's new there, say g'day in chat. And you know it's going to be a good stream, so hit that thumbs up now. Don't wait. And if you haven't already, which I'm sure you all have, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And you can also join for as little as a cost of a cappuccino a month. You can join, be part of the happy group of members we have here. And your contribution is much appreciated. All right, so all the self-advertising is done. Hello, Jeff. Mr. Jeff Donahue was in first with a greetings. How are you, buddy? Hey, hope you're well. Did watch your last video on the little truck you're building there. So yes, I did find a bit of time. Well, I watched most of it, but another work of art on the bench, in process of becoming a beautiful piece of trophy on your shelf, I'm sure. Okay. Who else we got? Captain Charlemagne Models is there. Hello, mate. Welcome. You in Florida. Hope the weather's getting better for you over there, down there, across there. I don't know what you'd say. All right. Who else? We got To Boldly Go Model Works. There we go. Check out To Boldly Go Model Works. That's James. Yes. Fantastic. Still pumping out those videos. And congratulations to James. I'll put that out there for hitting 1,000 subscribers. Well done, James. Well deserved. It was a long time coming, but you crept up there and you climbed the ladder and you're sitting there on that perch. You're up on about the third rung now. So we're going to see that next 1,000 pop up in the next few months easily. All right. And also a good shout out to Nigel and everyone else who steered people in the right direction to tune into your amazing channel. All right, which I'm sure most of you people here are all members of To Boldly Go Model Works. And if not, get over there now, right now, and join. And for anyone who's watching the replay that may be new to my channel, go check out James's channel. Very good. If someone could throw a link in the channel, that would be good too. Hint, hint there, Mr. Moderators. All right, moving on. So yeah, well done, mate. Well done. It's a great feeling, isn't it? Yes. All right. How are we going? I'm going to keep up with the chat because you're all coming in. We've got 20 plus coming in now, so that's great. Who we got? James is tired. Okay. Plastic Monkeys there, Paul. Good evening to you. Good evening. Catch you just before you go to bed, I'm sure. So that's great, you guys. Who else we got? Everyone's saying hello to Plastic. Everyone's saying hello to Paul. And evening to you, or morning to you. Evening it is to you, or afternoon, late afternoon. We're going down. We got Gremlins. There's Gary from Gremlins Modeling Mayhem. Okay, he says, took a tumble on uneven pavement earlier and have turned my ankle. Oh, that's no good. We'll see what it's like in the morning before deciding if it needs hospital attention or amputation. No, I just added that. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, no good being debilitated with a bad ankle. I hope it doesn't get too bad. You should see a guy put up a YouTube video he's down in Pattaya here in Thailand. The sidewalks in Asia are just infamous for just you've got to be watching where you're going, eh? So yeah, it's crazy. No walking around on your mobile phone here in Thailand. You've got to be watching your step. There are holes you don't see the bottom of. There are cracks you could disappear forever in. And this guy took a trip. Oh my God! You consider yourself lucky with a possible twisted ankle. This guy's face, he must have face planted when he went down. He's bruised up. He's got chipped tooth. He's got black eyes. He's got a broken nose. Oh, well, he says he tripped. You know, it's a bit like Nigel in his push bike accident with was it a dog or a cat? I can't remember. But we know what really happened. But anyway, yeah, it was pretty bad, you know. And talking about stuff like that, walking and stuff, I've recently taken up trekking, or not trekking, just walking. Is that what you call it? When you just go out and you go to these walking tracks and hiking. That's the word I'm looking for. Hiking. I went hiking the other day for the first time in my life, and I discovered that not only is it a really social thing to do, even on your own when you go, because everybody you pass says hello. It's amazing. Is you watching the ground and all the trip hazards and all the loose pebbles and branches and animals and snakes and spiders and, you know, all these obstacles you're avoiding while you're heading up the track into the mountains through the jungles. And it's quite really good. And it's good practice for when you walk in the normal streets around here in Thailand. So, yeah. But I'm really rambling on, aren't I? I'm doing a Ron. I'm rambling on. So let's move on. I hope your ankle gets better, mate. Andrew's there. Hello, Andrew. Hoping everyone is well, which most of us are, except for Gary there, but we'll hope he gets better soon. Who else we've got? What else we got? Put some ice on it, says Monkey. Says Paul, put some ice on it. Yeah, you want to see my ankles? I'll show you swollen ankles. Mine aren't too bad this morning. I'm not going to show you my ugly feet. But yeah, I got all sorts of fluid problems with my feet at the moment over here. And I've come to the conclusion it's an accumulation of the diet I'm on since I've been here. It's not something that, I suddenly ate this particular dish, or I'm starting to eat something different, or the climate's changed and it's brought this on. I think it's accumulation of my completely changed diet since I left Australia. That's my fluid happening on the ankles, things, not enjoying it. So I'm trying to work my way off it and fix it. I've found that hiking helps. A lot more walking helps. I've got these shoes that are like compression socks, only because they're a bit too small for me, but hey, they do the job. That when I wear that helps, you know, push the fluid out of my feet and makes them better. They seem to be worse at night. Not painful or anything, but just not comfortable, and it doesn't look too good. I've been to the hospital here. I've had all the tests done. So they put me on a cardiograph to check my blood pulse all over my body. That was all fine. They did give me a chest x-ray because apparently it can be related to liver or kidney problems. Yeah, done. And they gave me a blood test, passed. So yeah, we don't know what happened. So I got on these tablets which are supposed to make you pee more and help get the fluid out. I don't know how peeing gets the fluid out of your feet, but anyway, they seem to be working a little bit. In fact, I'm taking half a tablet today. There's the other half. There's today's half tablet ready to go. They do make you pee more, but not a great deal. I've been told to take them in the morning. Otherwise, if I take them in the evening, I wouldn't get any sleep, having to get up and pee all night. Makes sense. So hopefully it's all right. And swimming in the pool, I thought that would help, but it doesn't help because it's not a really physical activity like walking. And sitting here at the computer editing videos and model building and stuff like that for hours at a time is no good for me. I need to have my feet up. And I do notice that my feet up makes a difference as well. And I probably need to rearrange things here so that I can actually sit here and put my feet up. This beautiful chair, I'll show you that you guys all helped me buy with your membership contributions, actually comes with, look at this. See? It's got a footrest. See that, guys? I'll lift it up so you can see it. Look. See? And you might think, well, there you go, Pete. Put your legs up on that. Problem is, I'm about 6'1", and Thai people are about 3'4", and that doesn't even reach out as far as my knees. So that's no good to me. I won't be able. I can't put my feet up on that. Maybe I could do some modification somehow. Maybe get a bit of good styrene and extend it or something. I'll figure it out. But yeah, got to keep the feet up. I'm rambling again, and chat's getting ahead of me. Let's move on down. I'm quickly having a look in chat there. I see Jim's showed up. Hello, Mr. Jim. I see Wayne Saunders is there. Well, let's get down the chat. How are we going? Moving down. Jim, there he is from Chicago. Good on you, mate. No, it's okay. You're excused for being late. That's all fine. That's okay. Hobby Time is there. Hello, Hobby Time. Good day to you. Fantastic. And there's the barbecue king, Mr. John Alex. Watched your video you put out just the other day with your smooth radio voice. Yes. Fantastic, mate. I think I've seen you've put a note up saying you're skipping your live for a break or something, or a holiday or something. I think there was something about that. Was that the live just gone that you didn't have? Anyway, good one, mate. I do jump into yours at 2 o'clock in the morning for some stupid reason. I wake up throughout the night and check my phone and, oh, look, John's on live. I better quickly just jump in there and say hello to everyone. Yeah, and go back to sleep. Thank you, Jim. Yes, gracious host. Yes, thank you. That's a compliment and a half, isn't it? And there's Ron. Beautiful day here now. Yes, it is. I know. I've checked up on that. In fact, let's check the weather, shall we? Let's do a quick weather check. And here we go. Get ready for it. Boom. All right. So we've made a few changes here, just in case. You never know when you might get somebody show up in chat from somewhere unusual. And we want to cover those bases, So South Africa right now is 14 degrees Celsius and cloudy. Hello, everyone from South Africa. Japan is 28 degrees and sunny. Beautiful over there. Egypt is 31 degrees and sunny. I wouldn't expect any less, really. 21 degrees and clear in Germany. Winnipeg's there, 24 degrees and sunny. Perfect day for a ride on your bike there, Ron. And did I see Peru? Peru, for any Peruvians that might jump in and say hello, just hello there from Peru. 17 degrees and misty, probably in the mountains of Peru. Talking about the mountains, I was in the mountains yesterday. It was fantastic up there, out west in the mountains. I see in the distance from my balcony and windows here. I went out looking for a waterfall in the jungle. Ron knows this because I did a quick live stream on my Facebook, and Ron called in with a few others and said hello. And fantastic. And you'll be happy to know that I sort of found the waterfall, but it was more like a water trickle with rocks, and it wasn't much at all. And the dirt road to get there had, because with rainy season now, we had water going across the dirt road and it was too deep to take the bikes through. If I had my big Suzuki V-Strom 1000 from Australia, I could have gone across it, no problem. Although that could have been risky too, because even though it looked like sand when I walked it through, I took my shoes and socks off and walked across. There were quite big rocks underneath at the end there. That wouldn't have gone well with my front wheel hitting those. But anyway, I did get across and walked up, and it wasn't far. And there was it was an abandoned place there with what looked like used to be food places and shelters, people to sit in underneath and eat. And it was just looked like no one had been there for years. It was all overgrown and whatever. So anyway, took a few photos. But I came back and I stopped at a restaurant to get something to eat because I was getting hungry. That's when I thought, I'll put a Facebook thing up and start streaming on Facebook. And wow, you'll also if you were watching at that time, I never did get my food. I ended up having to leave. The people that came in after me, 3 lots of people came in after me and sat down, and they all got served, and I'm sitting there waiting for my food. Sure, there was a language barrier, but when she brought out some meat and some noodles, and I said, yes, yes, pointing, and I point at my stomach and give her a thumbs up, that sort of means, yeah, cook them for me and I'll eat them. Cheers. And then I said, no spicy. She go, oh, yeah, yeah. And I sat down, and that was it. I seen the water heating up. I smelt the food cooking. It wasn't mine. So I was there for about half an hour doing that live stream, waiting for my food. It never came. So more people arrived and got fed, and I just got up and I said, well, what can I say? They don't understand any English. So, yeah, I left. I ended up going down the road and getting a ham and cheese toasted sandwich from 7-Eleven. Yeah. Oh, well. Anyway, I was really looking forward to the noodles and whatever it was. That happens. We got a birthday in the house, have we? Andrew's had a birthday. Fantastic. Is that right? Or did I read? That's right. Yes, Jeff's saying. Good on you, mate. Happy birthday. Good. Skullfish is there. Hello, Skullfish. Welcome, mate. Welcome. How are we going? Oh, over 20 people. Good, good, good. Good, very good. Okay. Some people have a lot of catchphrases when they start their YouTube videos. I mean, mine's usually, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. There is another guy that actually does that on a news channel here in Thailand. There's another guy that says, how are you? Very good. Very good. That's one of his catchphrases. And another guy who's an English fellow, he goes, touching down in Chiang Mai. Touching down. So yeah, you got to have that little jingle. It's like the music at the beginning of the start of your videos or live stream. It sort of catches on and everyone recognizes it. How else are we going? Jim asking Jeff that he's telling Jeff his MiniArt truck's going on well, which it is. He's very experienced in the MiniArt trucks now. He's done quite a few of them. How else are we going? Stephen Haynes is there saying hello, buddy, welcome. And we've got Peter Kwan there. Hello. G'day to you. Fantastic. I don't think we need those temperatures buzzing across there anymore, do we? No. Pretty unlikely we're going to have anyone from those places, except, of course, Winnipeg. So that's cool. And we're going down the list. How are we going? Anyone else in here? Everyone's saying hello. There's the link. Good on you. To boldly go. That's it. Give yourself a... You had to put the link in yourself, did you, mate? Oh, gosh. That's all right. And let's see. How else are we going? I'm actually sweating here. It's quite humid still. It gets humid here at night and throughout the night. Wayne Saunders is there. Hello, buddy. Welcome. Welcome to you. Where are we going? Looking down the list. The height, yeah, blimey. You're twice the height of most people. Yeah, I know. You stand out in the crowd, and it's good. You don't feel so claustrophobic and boxed in when you can look across all the heads of everybody. You know, I mean, it's not that tall. There are tall people here. Yeah, there are. I just like people. You know, people look up to you more when you're tall. Did you know that? Yeah. Did you know? I heard this thing the other day. You know, that short people are the last people to find out that it's short people are the last people to find out when it's raining. Just a thought. All right. Yeah. Oh, sleep. Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Mine's the same as it was. I still get up early. I still wake up early. So this is no good. But I tell you, I do need my afternoon nap. Definitely. Come about 1, 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'll throw Netflix on or a movie, and I'll start watching that because that's something I've got to do. Let me just fix this up. Here we go. Being awake around midnight, 1 a.m. my time is how I connect with you. Yeah, Jason Hibbo, yeah. Yeah, well, Jim doesn't sleep. Yeah, he's a night shifter. Anthony Jones is there. G'day, mate. Question: how much of the Thai language have you learnt since moving there? Whoa, boy, absolutely none. None. Kopkum Ka is thank you. That's it. And Kopkum Ka is just cup. If you just say cup, that's like an abbreviated, like a thanks sort of thing. That's it. I don't know my numbers. I don't know anything. So we have Google Translate. That helps. I mean, that woman at the restaurant, that cafe in that little village, it's like a little corner shop. I showed her on Google Translate. I wrote omelette, and when I showed her that, she could read that, no problem. Because straight away she said, no omelette, no have. So no problem. And the rest just, that's when she started bringing out stuff to show me, and I go, yeah, but yeah, it didn't happen. I think she was just confused why I was sitting there talking to my phone and not ordering anything, and yeah, it was strange. But anyway, it's all good. How are we going? Everyone's saying hello to Anthony as they do. Am I going to put a link? Do you want me to? Do you want me to put the link there? Do you? I mean, only if you guys really want to. You sure you want to join in? Maybe I can get some people to come on and start talking, and then I can go make myself a cup of coffee because I've made one, but I've run out. I sculled it before I came online. Huh? Yeah, my diet of bananas. Yeah, you can see my bananas over here. Look at that. So I pay 60 baht, right? So that's less than $3. All right, it's about $2.50 Australian, less than $2 US. And I had about 15 bananas when I bought them. Really beautiful bananas. What I do is I cut them up in slices and add them to yogurt. I buy these plain yogurts, and then I use honey. I got some honey there, and I put honey over the top. See, I'm eating well. I'm almost caught up on chat, haven't I? And hello, Anthony is back in Sydney now. Freezing, I bet, because it was hot in China. It is hot in China. But yeah, although Sydney's starting to warm up a little bit. I think bilge was on was talking to yesterday, Bildrat, and he was saying it's starting to warm up a bit there, so that's good. And Captain Charlemagne's heading off, going to Olive Garden for dinner. Catch you all. Have a good week. Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you for calling in. Cut up bananas and put them in my yogurt and cereal. Yes, that's right. Good. Yeah, I have them for dessert, or I buy an ice cream. You know, there's ice creams down at 7-Eleven, like a chocolate Magnum. They're really cool. All right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to throw the link in. Where are we? Let's check. Settings. Is that the one I want? No, I want invite, copy. There it is. Go like this. I'm going to drop that into the chat, and we'll see who comes along and wants to pop in here and say g'day. All right. How are we going? Muesli to the yogurt and bananas. Yeah. They sell. There's such a huge range of muesli. It just confuses me. I look in the supermarket and there's almost a whole side of an aisle of all the mueslis, and I've never been much of a muesli person, but yeah, maybe I should buy it, because you can have muesli with milk or just water, can't you? Because see, I'm trying to avoid the water, because water. I'm trying to avoid the milk, I should say, because milk is very what's the word for it? Well, it's expensive here for a start. It's pretty expensive here. So, you know, China was extremely hot, says Anthony. Yeah. Approaching. And yes, that's right. Spring is approaching. You're right. And here we go. We've got Andrew's about to pop in and say hello to everybody. So let me sort this out here and get him in. Hey, hello, buddy. How are you?
Hey, everyone. How you going?
Hey, good. We got good picture. We got good audio. Fantastic.
Yeah. 60 yesterday.
Ah, very good. So how's Queensland this morning?
Windy and rainy today.
Ah, okay. Yeah, well, you're sort of tropical, so you're getting the wet season as well, aren't you? Yeah. All right, we got Mr. Heisenberg.
Well, it's kind of.
Yeah.
It's heading into wet season again very soon. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and the flooding will be back. Get some pretty crazy flooding.
No, the last year.
All right, let's bring in Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim from near Chicago. There he is.
Chicago. Hello, Andrew. Hey, Peter. Good day, everyone.
The Eggman. How are you?
Hey, Jim.
Hi. Hey, Andrew. How's life in Australia?
Yeah, good, mate.
Good. Peter.
I almost answered that. Thailand is fantastic. Yeah, fantastic.
Excellent. Very, very good. Excellent.
Yeah. How's the United States of America?
Well, right now, hey, Jeff, and hello to everyone in chat. Hello to all of you. How's things? Well, we're experiencing some wonderful weather today. We're in a stretch of excellent weather. It's about I don't know what it is Celsius. I'll give it to you in Fahrenheit. It's roughly around 70 degrees, dry, sunny, cool breezes. It's wonderful, beautiful. I had the house open all day, windows and front door, back door. Dog's been hanging out in the yard. He's laying down right now at my foot of my chair. So yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great. We just got through like a 2 to 3 week stretch of awful heat and humidity day after day after day, because the hurricane activity in the Gulf has been pushing that warm air up straight up the Midwest and hitting Chicago and the East Coast and stuff. So, it's good to have a break from it.
Excellent. Very
how's the Camilla Harris circus going, mate?
I'm sorry, Andrew. What'd you say?
How's the Camilla Harris circus going?
I'm not really paying too much attention to that. I try I try to stay out of politics as much as possible. It tends to depress me. So
Yeah,
I'm
good.
sure there's lots of backbiting, and like any other country, there's this, that, and the other thing. But no, I'm not paying. Oh, Jeff, you got good weather too, huh? 78 and sunny there. Yeah. Well, I think we all earned a break here in the Midwest, and even out there in the mountain areas where Jeff's at in Colorado. How's the weather out there, Andrew? You guys still got your winter weather?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's on and off at the moment, mate. It's raining and windy today again.
Okay. Hey, Bilge.
How you doing? Hey, talking about politics, which I don't really want to bring up the issue, but the center of attention for years, I would say, for years, has been elections, right? And the dramas and everything in America. But now, all of a sudden, the UK's in the spotlight, and I haven't been watching the news, and I don't know what that's all about. I just seen lots of YouTube videos with the usual YouTubers out there promoting all the violence and trying to get their views and putting all this videos up, amateur videos up of the protests and highlighting it all. But I don't know. Can someone fill me in what's going on over there?
Yeah, mate. It all stemmed from last week. 3 young girls were stabbed to death by a Muslim. So it's all started like a race riot.
But isn't it? That was his nationality. But sure, there's a lot of nationalities. He was nothing connected with anything radical, was he?
Yeah, well, that's not what they're saying now. They're saying he was kind of radicalised. So,
but now I'm hearing a lot of conspiracy theories coming out, going that direction. But if he was a Chinese or a Vietnamese person or anything else, it would never have flared up to what it is now, would it?
No, possibly not. No.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the problems are, from what I can gather, is the mass illegal immigration, especially from, Muslim countries, South Africa, places like that have just, overtaken England, and the English people aren't real happy about it. It's just come to a head, I think.
But that's happened all over the world. I can tell you, go to Fiji, go to Indonesia. Indonesia has more Muslims in it than Indonesians. It's all over the world, Yeah,
it's just, you've got to look at it at the perspective of, like, there is a lot of Muslims in Asia and stuff like that, but they're a different sort of person to the Middle Eastern Muslim, if you know what I mean.
Of course. I mean, you could say the same about Germans, couldn't you?
Yeah.
We don't hold anything against Germans today, even though look what the history shows. And yet people are so friggin' racist.
It is what it is, I guess. Like, there's a lot probably more underlying. There's a lot more underlying to it than we possibly know about. So,
and someone there, Hobby Time, saying that he wasn't Muslim. So, I mean, just because he's from the Middle East, not all people in the Middle East are Muslim. I mean, God, how many Muslim Australians are there, or any other nationality? Vietnamese Australians, God, I remember when I was a kid, you meet a guy from China, or you'd meet someone from Lebanon or Greece, a fella, a kid, and you'd say, "Oh, so how long you been here?" Or "When did you come over here?" Now they're second, third generation. As Aussie as anyone else. Muslim women who have already got kids and grandkids have a stronger Aussie accent than a typical white Aussie. So I don't know. Jesus. I know in the UK they've had there's quite a big Indian population as well. So I mean, if he was Indian, would it be all against the Indians as well?
England's in, I guess.
I think they're using it as a pedestal to get up and express their feelings about everything else that's wrong with the country they're having problems with. And it's taking the focus off America. It's taking the focus off America for a change, and we're not looking at all that so much because there's something in the UK. Just makes me wonder when something's going to flare up in Australia.
Yeah, I know that's the worrying thing, isn't it? That's what I'm a bit worried about myself.
Oh, well, we don't have the huge population. And the
No.
UK is different. It's part of Europe. We're on our own down south in Australia. We don't have neighbouring countries on our borders or across the water or anything like this. And whereas America has their own problems with their own internal borders of states, because states are different from state to state. They may as well be different countries. America's a Europe on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you think there, Jim?
Well, I really don't pay attention to a lot of this stuff because it seems like no matter where you're getting your information from, it can be challenged by someone else. And I really tend to walk a quiet line when it comes to all of these things. However, the issue of immigration around the world is becoming something that does need to be resolved, I think, nation by nation, revise, review, and enforce whatever immigration rules as a country you decide to implement, whatever it may be. If that is the problem, I don't know. I mean, it could be, the United States, the nation of immigrants. My family from both sides comes from Germany. They came here in the 18th century after the Civil War, the American Civil War. So I'm like fourth, fifth, generation American. So my home is here. I don't care what my roots are.
As far as I'm concerned, the past is the past, and we're all Earthlings. It's as simple as that. Look after our planet. We're all on the one planet. Screw everybody's individual nationality. Keep your customs and so forth and your family traditions. That's fine. But we're all Earthlings. Get over all this violence and crap.
Well, it's a very sticky situation, and unfortunately, people are getting hurt and killed. And there doesn't seem to be any kind of coming together or meeting of minds. But we don't know the whole side of everything. The side of people living in who have been, part of these countries for decades and centuries with their family roots, and others who are coming there. And it just seems like that I don't know what I'm even trying to say. What happened to Andrew? Is he all right?
Yeah, he dropped out. He'd probably come back. That's all right. But even when I was a kid back at school, there was still, racism and we used to bully kids if they were from another country and stuff like this. That used to go on. The trouble is, back when I was a kid, the social media didn't exist like it does today, and it wasn't such a widespread thing that could be shared amongst people that are innocent to it. It wasn't a media source.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even make the evening 6 o'clock news in Australia back in the 80s, because people didn't have their mobile phones and have a camera they can turn on 24/7. So, there's a question there for you. Peter's got. You can answer him that one maybe, because I'm just going to turn on my jug and get my coffee going.
Let's see. Okay, go ahead. I'll take this one.
I'll bring Andrew back in.
Suggestions going in here anyway. But what do you got, Peter? Anyway, I got a modeling question. I need to repaint a section on my P51.
That's it.
Would you sand away the existing paint or just spray over it? Well, what specifically is the issue, and what kind of paint you got on there? I'm looking back in the comments. Let's see. Paint is acrylic. Well, once acrylic is down, you got to give it a lot of time to cure, and then you should be able to sand it down. I haven't had to do something like that in a long time. But my first thought would be to sand it down enough where you could recoat it with. Are you going to go over it with the same kind of paint, or are you going to put a different color on there, or is it what happened with the paint? Did it dry in a bad way, or what occurred, Peter, that is causing you to want to repaint the section on the P51? So yeah, the thing is, I'm noticing, with all the various kinds of paints that are available to us now as modelers, and even within the range of acrylic and lacquer Enamel is enamel for the most part. I haven't seen too many adverse results of not mixing, but I mean painting one enamel with another enamel. It seems like these acrylic paints, you kind of got to get a better understanding of what the basic chemistry content is on them, so you understand how they work. Because I have seen people, oh, my masking was misaligned and I got some glue fingerprints. Well, yeah, you'll definitely have to sand then, Peter. Yeah, you definitely have to sand then. You got fingerprints on there. Yeah, I hate when I do that. See, what happens with me is I put that liquid glue on, and sometimes I'm holding apart. I put too much glue and it flows. You don't even know it till you let your fingers going. Oh man! I did that on an airplane. I just finished it. It was right on a spot that was out there. I had to sand it. I couldn't let it go, and it took away some detail that I had a real hard time restoring.
Yeah, it's all about the condition of your paint underneath, because it's just like having a primer. It shouldn't be a problem.
Well, what I do if I spray acrylics, which isn't too often, I usually use acrylics for brush painting now. But if I do spray acrylics, I always have a lacquer-based primer underneath, because I have been told that lacquer kind of scores the plastic. It digs in, and it creates a bond between the paint and the plastic, and then therefore you've got a very strong base to work with. A lot of people don't work with lacquers because, well, unlike me, they don't have an environment where they can use a spray booth and vent it out a window.
Yeah.
Some people live in an apartment where you're living in a confined space, and you can't necessarily just take a spray booth out a window and just exhaust it that way.
That's right.
But I use lacquers because I believe in lacquers. I mean, the hobby paint lacquers that have come along over the last 5 to 10 years are outstanding in their quality, easy to use, great colors. Yeah, all of them. I mean, just about all of them that I've tried, I've not been disappointed with. Acrylics, on the other hand, you kind of got to know what you're working with. And if you're not mixing, but if you're painting one with another, I'm not saying that's what Peter's doing. I'm just saying that I have noticed people talking about, well, I painted this acrylic, then I put another acrylic clear over it. Yeah. And it didn't seem to work very well. That's what I mean. Yeah. Hey, Andrew, there you are.
Just answering what
trying to go internet up here lately, so it just drops in and out every now and then, and my phone's about at it too, I think.
Well, maybe it's the weather.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's been.
Yeah, just saying Plastic Monkey mentioning a few things there. I agree. We have the same problem in Australia as well with all the benefits that they get. We don't have illegal people coming in Australia. We just have people moving into Australia, but there's a lot of handout for these people that Aussies don't get, I guess.
Hey, Dominique's in. Hey, Dominique, how you doing there? Been watching your
I agree with that, Paul.
Your videos. Doing great, mate. Love it. Love it. Love that MiniArt P47 is a really nice kit.
Yeah,
it is.
GB models. Hey, mate. How are you?
GB. Hey, GB.
Fantastic.
So, Andrew, what are you working on? What's your modeling project at the moment?
Well, I'm finishing off a Churchill AVRE in 35th scale, but I'm just waiting on the tracks for it. They're in the mail. It should be here Monday.
Okay.
And my side projects are M915 American semi-trailer. And I built. I've done all a scratch-built load for it. I built all boxes and crates and made up a scratch-built load for it.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I've got all the ratchet strap tie downs to put on it and all that sort of
thing. Do you have a YouTube channel?
No.
Oh, okay. I'd like to see your work. Sounds good.
Hey,
I post some photos on the Scale Models Hangout page every now and then.
Okay. Yeah, I got to get over to that, because that way I could post my stuff over there too.
Yeah, it's a good way, because you can't really post on here really unless you got your own YouTube channel, I guess. And so it's a good way to show people that we talk to every week, what you're doing.
Right. That's true. It's a great way to exchange work and see what everybody's working on, and it creates a lot of conversation and topics to discuss and techniques and everything. And that's what really fires my blood up and motivation about modeling. It's like I see other guys doing their stuff, or other ladies as well. And I'm like, wow, I got to get busy with that. I got to get busy on what I'm doing. Not that I'm trying to be better than them or try to match them. It motivates me to just get working,
Yeah.
And have something I could show, like, hey, this is what I've been doing lately. You know what I mean? And so my stuff is coming along, but I just had really bad knee pain in my left knee the last few days. It's finally coming around, but looks like I'm going to need knee replacement. The cartilage in the kneecap is gone. It's just bone on bone now.
Oh, not good.
Yeah. I was lucky. I was able to see my knee specialist the next day after it happened, and he drained the knee. 30 cc's of fluid in the knee. 30.
Ooh.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
So he took an X-ray and he showed me. He said, "Man, you got nothing left in there. You're bone on bone. You got to go." Hey, GB.
Hey guys, how are we?
Good, mate.
Good.
That's good. It's good.
So I saw that car you were working on, the one with the really nice paint job.
XY Falcon.
Yeah, I believe that was it. Yeah. Nice. Now, is that like a kit car thing? I noticed it had screws to attach the body to the chassis and everything.
Yeah, it's a DDA kit, die-cast Australia kit. So it's the first time I've tried these kits. Am I happy with it? It's more of a die-cast thing than rather than sort of like a Tamiya or Hasegawa kit, something like that. So would I do one again? Probably not.
I like the paint job you did, though. It's really nice. I mean, that's why I don't make car models. So I can't come up with stuff like that.
Thank you very much. It's taken a fair bit to get there, to try and perfect the right paint scheme in the right way to go with the airbrush. So I think I've got it now down the pack. So happy with who I'm getting the paint off and stuff like that. So yeah, really nice paint jobs now.
Good. Keep it up, man. I like your work. I'm looking forward to seeing that Enterprise come together. That 200 scale, right?
That's correct. Yep. That's that's going to be. I think I put a question in about the Enterprise about.
Yes.
Shall I get the Pontos kit?
Saw that. Let me scroll up to that. Scroll up to that. If you have, are you subscribed to Nigel's modeling bench?
I might be. I've subscribed to so many people.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I understand. Yeah, if you YouTube search Nigel's modeling bench, he's got so many videos. You'd have to go back a ways, but he has that model, and he has an incredible aftermarket set, including a full size deck. The entire carrier deck can be replaced, and he's got the kit for it. It's incredible. I think he's got more parts he's going to replace than he's actually going to put on from the model itself. Now,
does it come with photo etch in the kit?
Yeah, lots of it.
Okay.
A lot of it.
Yeah, the two sets that you're talking about, the KA set and the Ponto set, they're both pretty much the same, and they're both good quality. But one set has some things that the other set doesn't have, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's like I think the KA set has sort of like some crew on it, as well as the Pontos one doesn't.
I like the instructions for the KA set. KA instructions are easier.
Yeah, they're both different. So like I said, one has one thing and one has the other. So
I think Nigel bought both sets, knowing him. That guy goes all out.
You probably have to go to both websites and have a look and compare what's in what kit to what you want. So
because that's probably a very expensive investment. I mean, if you buy both sets, I'm sure you'll be superseding the cost of your model.
Yes, like the kit itself is. I brought it for $410, right? But
that's a very good price.
That is a very good price for that particular size model. And if you're buying the KA set, there's a further $650. if you're buying the Ponto set, there's a further $750. So
It's over $1,000.
It's too
Yep.
much.
Yep.
Holy moly, that's 2 models, 2.5 models.
yeah.
Well, I've got the 1/200 scale Curtis Wilbur Arleigh Burke. I just bought that not long ago. That cost me $286, and then I bought the new HS upgrade set for it. That cost $580.
Yeah.
Oh
When
yeah.
I did the Kitty Hawk, I
Peter,
used the
Peter,
KA
can
set.
you put up Peter Kwong's latest comment, the last one? Look at this. I don't know if you watch this channel, GB, but this guy's really good. Midwest model.
Yeah.
He is like, wow.
Yes.
He does a comparison of both the KA and the Ponto sets as well on his
Okay. There you go, GB.
Yeah, and that's where I think I picked that one up from him, because not only does those both sets, he also gives you a look at 3D printed parts as well.
Yeah, a lot of guys are doing that. I mean, a lot of people are doing 3D on their own model for their own particular needs. You know, they'll keep some stuff, they'll replace others, and you can pick and choose what you want. It's that is really, really coming along to the point where it's advanced so much, it's almost astounding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're almost thinking that you don't have to go inside and buy an actual model anymore. You can 3D print the parts, and you've got your own model.
You know what, though, cheating, isn't it? Let me say this now. I am all for this idea of 3D printing, and I know it's coming anyway. But my issue is now I'm a bit heavy-handed. I try to be delicate with parts. Resin is very fragile. The smaller the detail and the finer the parts, the more likely damage, whether it's removing it or trying to assemble it. And you have only one option for glue, and that's super glue. Those are the two things I'm still kind of hung up on as far as making a full model of resin. Resin detail parts, 3D printed or cast block. Either one works for me. But an entire model, like I build tanks, and I like to build a lot of little details on there, maybe too many. But I like to add that kind of stuff. Being all strictly resin, I think I would need my own printer just to print extras.
If I can build the anti-aircraft guns on a ship with photo etch, I will do it. I won't buy a 3D piece already built. But if I had fumbly fingers or problems and I didn't think I could do it with a photo etch, especially when you're talking about the thousands of parts you're talking with KA or Pontos, then sure, go out. Like I suggested to Ron, if you wanted to do the Yamato and he was worried about the guns. If you can't do it, you've got that option to buy them already done 3D. That's fine. But I think it takes away the experience of building a model when you just go buy the whole gun and glue it on. I mean,
well, I don't know about that, Peter. I think what it does in the case of a ship, which I haven't built since I was a kid. When I see the detail work that Midwest and Norwegian scale modeler, and what's that guy I've been watching? Oh my God, I think he's a Scotsman, and he's building an early 20th century Japanese cruiser, the Mikasa or Mukusa. The detail is outstanding, and if it's a whole assembly, so be it. You've got how many anti-aircraft guns on, say, something like the USS Alabama? You know what I mean? Whether it's the Oerlikon 20 millimeters or the 40 millimeters, the Bofors, or even the machine guns, the 50 calibers. I mean, my goodness, how many of those do you have to put in? So
it's all about
3D printed a whole ship. You can do a whole ship 3D printed if you want.
I understand that, Peter.
You might as well go buy a Lego.
Well, look at the model you have, the Arleigh Burke. Your version is what scale is that Academy kit? 350th?
Yeah. It's only 350,
How much detail did they give you beyond just plastic?
None.
Yeah, nothing. No, that's
Nothing?
right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying most companies now are providing you. Sometimes they provide you with the rails.
I think that kit you got, Peter, hasn't it got edge guardrails at least with it?
That's it.
Yeah,
yes,
it does.
Yes,
it does
Peter.
have edge railings, but it's a little bit concerning because it seems like a lot of plastic on the sprues look a bit I know, like too much,
Oversized.
too bulky, too oversized.
Out of scale.
Yeah, the scale seems wrong. I don't know. But then, I mean, compare that to the photo etch railings, to the plastic railings for the kit. It's like, holy cow, they're totally different. What's right?
Yeah. Well, I've got the Academy with the Pontos upgrade set for the FFG, and when I compared the railings, and I haven't been an FFG sailor myself, I looked at the railings and went, no way in the world are they right?
Yeah.
But what would you use? For the railing? Would you use the kit railing, as in the photo edge kit railing, or would you use the Pontos KA? Because I heard that the Pontos KA are a lot thinner than the.
They're a lot thinner, but it's the same with the ones that came with the Academy kit as well. They're just thin anyway, so they're a lot more to scale than the plastic ones. So
I think it looked better.
Because the wire ropes, that hold them are only about that round in reality,
Yeah.
So it's not very big at all, So Pontos and KA said they're pretty well scaled out, I think. So.
Yeah, when I put stuff on tank models, like handles and grab handles, and I mean, Peter, you're seeing it on your MiniArt kit. When you do use the photo etch and you compare it to
that's all it comes with.
Right, but you compare it with the scale with perhaps the plastic that is an option. Like Dragon models, they always give you an option. A lot of these Eastern European makers, they give you photo etch and that's it. But what I'm saying is that when you put it on there, it can be a real bear to do. But when it's on there and it's done and it's painted, you can't argue with the scale effect.
But I also find that some kits that supply photo etch, for some reason, there's plastic parts in there that would have been a lot better if they were photo etched too. Like, what were they thinking? Like, why have these grab handles photo etch, and on these particular sides here, I've only got plastic ones, and that's what's happened here. I've got, see, the grab handles on those hatches on the side there.
Yeah, on the doors. Yeah, it helped the crew get in the tank. Yeah,
they're plastic,
right?
And yet I've got all this photo etch on the front, including hooks and stuff. That I think, well, why didn't they throw in photo etch of those too?
Well, you can make that out of wire.
They're perfect for photo etch, and yet you're using plastic parts.
Well, are you talking about the grab handle that's above the doorway?
Yeah.
I have a Tacom Grant, and I removed the plastic because I broke one off and I had to replace it, so I replaced both. I just used wire. I measured it with some calipers. I found the right thickness of wire. I bent it on the ends, measured it out, drilled it out with a pin vise, and bingo, I got them in, and they look better than the plastic anyway.
See, I mean, there's.
Well, look at your inside. Look at all the parts on the inside of the vehicle that'll never be seen. All the photos put there.
All the attachments for the tools are all fine. They're all in photo etch, and that's okay. But then you look and go, well, hang on, but there's some handles on there that aren't photo etched. There's a piece up in the top where the shovel head is that's not photo etched. I've had to use plastic. There's those little hatches. I mean, maybe there's aftermarket you could purchase with extra photo etch. I never looked into that.
It might also be cost, Peter. They can probably only do so much and keep the kit within a reasonable price range.
Yeah.
Well, I went through AliExpress and I bought these set of there's 6 in a set, and they're like a stapler, right? And you put your wire in and you press it down and it forms the grab handle. And it makes about 12 different sizes.
Yes.
It's like these here. They're for bending wire in there. You can make U-shaped pieces of different sizes.
Oh, that's a nice. I got to get one of those. I've got a basic photo etch bender, but it doesn't have that accessory with it. Are you talking, Andrew? Are you talking about a tool? It's like 2 triangles that come together, and it's got a fastener in the middle.
It's just like a stapler.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's a stapler, but with the grab handle, you open it up, right, and then you put your wire in, and it's got grooves in the top in here, and then you close it down and push it, and it forms the handle.
Okay. And you can set it to any
And
length, whether narrow or wide?
Yeah, like I said, it makes 12 or 18 different sizes.
Wow. That's great.
That's cool. That's
Can
handy.
you find that on AliExpress?
Yeah, I'll get a photo of it later, and I'll post it on the Oz Modelers Hangout site.
Yeah, please do. I'd like to see that because that's something I would need. I would like
the whole set, the whole set of 6 of them cost me $18 or something.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
What do you got, GB?
I'm currently generally when I finish up a car, I go from a car to a warplane, but I'm still continuing on with car. So this is
I'm busy, Ken.
Sorry.
I'll take care of it later. I'm busy.
So I'm going to be doing this one. I'm onto this one. So
yeah,
going to do my own colours on that one with the white stripes going down. So but that XY Falcon has got a lot of hits on that. That's pretty good finish up, particularly with the new paint that I'm using, the new company paint that I'm using. So it's going down well.
very good. Wow, nice.
But I'm waiting on parts to come from America for that Mustang as well. So
Did you build a motorbike? You've done motorbikes.
Yeah, that's right, Dominique.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dominic,
I love motorbikes.
the brand name of that tool, it's Master Tools.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Jeff, take care. That Jeff Donahue signing off. See you.
say
See you,
that.
Jeff.
So I've done GP bikes.
Bikes are great. I love doing bikes. They look really cool.
I just recently did one which was a rare one. So hang on, I'll go and get it.
I've got.
So
Yeah, I've still
what's
got my bike.
I've been following your tank, Peter. I think I'm up to date on all the episodes. You've gone any farther beyond what I
That
see?
looks nice. We'll bring that up full screen.
What scale is that,
Wow.
GB?
1/12 scale.
1/12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Tamiya?
This is a rare one, apparently. So
Okay.
hang on, where am I going?
There
There
it
we
is.
go.
Looks nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Tried to get upgrade parts for it, but couldn't because it's rare.
Right.
But I started off just doing GP bikes only and got 2 channeled. So I do the cars, as you know. Hot rods I'm starting to get into as well. I brought a tank, an army tank, but I'm zeroing in on just cars now instead of doing tanks. I've got one for sale at the moment. So
Yeah, I think this will be my last tank for a while. I mean, I've still got all this to get through. Look at this.
wow. Yep. Yep.
Anybody want to help me? Like, I'll send them to you. Like, just like
the track links.
100.
I'm doing. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'll show you what I've been doing lately.
Even if you just stand where the left, sand with the left side.
Metal.
You know.
I use metal tracks. I don't use tracks at all.
Speaking of metal tracks,
mate,
Andrew,
haven't even started on those yet.
Have you done the metal tracks before?
Oh,
Me?
Me?
You asking me or?
that's cool. Yeah.
Andrew.
Yeah, these are Fruel tracks. I'm using my Tiger 1.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a Dragon kit, Dragon Models Tiger 1, really nice kit. And
Yep.
I knew I wanted to get the metal tracks for them. And Fruel model is no longer Fruel models. I guess someone bought them, but they're still packaging them as Fruel model. But they're available now. For a while, you couldn't find them anywhere. Now they're available, including America. That was really important for me because I have an account with a hobby shop in Australia. I can't remember B&M
B&A.
Yeah,
B&A.
that's it. And they just recently sent me. Yeah, they were just recently sent me a message saying, "Hey, we got your Panzer IV Fruel model tracks." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but I can get them in America now." So there's a place in Missouri I can order from. But these things, you can't beat them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I tell you what,
Frill Model went bankrupt.
Yeah, I heard that they closed down. I didn't know why, but I think someone bought them out. Is that right?
AK Interactive.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In Spain.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, if they keep making them this way and maybe they can clean up the molds or you don't have to drill out every link, I'd be grateful. But you can't argue with the effect that they give you. I only use these things for tanks with heavy tracks like Tigers, Panthers, T-34, Stalin tank, KV-1s, stuff like that. I Sherman or a Lee, if you get rubber band tracks like the newer age Tamiya kits, you buy the new stuff, their tracks are awesome. I've got an M10 Achilles here that I built, the British version of the M10, and the tracks that came in the kit, beautiful. They're made of the newer style rubber vinyl combination. You can glue them, you can paint them, you can rough them up, and they fit perfect. You don't need any. You don't need any heavy slack like you do with Tigers and Panthers, where you got to have that sag and everything in them. And the only thing it'll do is metal. I've tried plastic, and this is old school, but it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get a lot of tracks from AliExpress from a mob called R-Track, and they're metal tracks, and you don't have the problems with having to re-drill all the holes and everything. They're perfectly cast. They're just amazing, and they're probably about $25 cheaper than a set of frill.
Really? What's the brand name?
Capital R models.
R model. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check that out because I'm looking for alternatives. There's another brand that's coming around. They're resin, and they're quick tracks. They snap together, and they work really well. It's a place that I think they're in Poland, and there's a modeler. There's a guy on YouTube. He's got his own channel. Very.
Is it ET models? ET models?
I'm sorry.
Is it ET models?
No, it's oh my God, I can't remember the manufacturer's name. You might be right. I haven't seen any in a while, but maybe someone in the chat can help out with this because there's a particular modeler. I watch his channel. It's very, very. The name doesn't roll off your tongue. His channel's name is Cold Demons PL.
Yeah.
And he's got the quick tracks that they're not his. He buys them, and to show that they work. He had his wife install.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
I've seen him. They seem to be pretty good.
Yeah, and I guess now they've got them. I think it was the last time we were on here live, Peter.
Yeah.
Someone said that they've got tracks similar to what you're working on the Lee.
That's right. You said that you didn't know that they made them for that tank.
Yeah, and if they do, hallelujah, because my Grand tank, the Tacom kit, I screwed up the Lincoln Length plastic tracks. I'm an idiot. I messed them up. They're no good. So I got to find tracks for them.
Find tracks. I'm trying to find paint. I got a question for you guys out there. Is what's the go with Outlaw Paints now? Why isn't it being sold, and why is it still under Jason? He's still got his contact details, his address. Everything's still him, and I want to contact this new owner because I want to get some shipped out to me here.
Nobody knows Nobody knows who bought Outlaw Paints yet. Nobody knows. Apparently a bloke in Townsville, but we haven't heard anything more about it.
Yeah,
I've been asking.
I met him. I met him. He was on one of the live chats a few weeks back when Jason first announced the sale. But I don't know if everything is changed hands yet.
Because everything on the website is still Jason's address and contact details, and
as far as I know, he's still filling orders because I've got an American distributor here, a guy down in Arkansas, who I can order my Outlaw paint from him. And as far as I know, Jason is still running the show. When it turns over to the other man, his name is Mark. I don't know the exact details about it. Jason would be the one to be able to give you the lowdown on that. But
well, he's live streaming today, is he? I guess.
Yeah, but he's going to be on the same time you are.
He's on. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't help you out with Outlaw because I don't use Outlaw paints, unfortunately. But Yeah,
I love
Well,
them. I've got a few that I've used, and I love them. I don't have any problem with them. I've also used SMS. There's an American distributor for SMS. That's the only reason I wound up buying SMS paints, because I found a place in Florida that does sell them. Oh, Dominic's going to bed. Good night, Dominic. Yeah, he's 7 hours ahead of me, so it's it's midnight over there in the Netherlands where he's at. So good night, Dominic.
Yeah, but
see you soon.
I knew.
Oh, here you go. Here, look what. Yeah, Bill just put it in. New owner still learning how to make the paint. Yeah. I think him and Jason are working together to so he can because he wants to keep the same consistency.
It can't be that hard if you know the ratios. That's really all you need to know, isn't it?
Basically, yeah.
Got the product, you got the ratios.
Yep. But I knew
What are you using?
Sorry.
We got a model competition in Townsville on the 14th of September. I'm going down there for it. Put 2 of my models in, but there's a couple of guys down there that know a bit more about the outlaw paints. So if we haven't found anything by then, I'll query them when I'm down there, and I'll let you know what's going on.
Well, we're coming up to that big show in the UK again this year, where there were big promises of outlaw paints going there this year, but I guess that's not going to happen now. And I think what's his name? Moss is the only UK distributor at the moment.
Yeah, he said, Moss said something about it's slowing down a bit there. He's got to figure out a way to start kick-selling the outlaw paints. It's just slowing down a bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's also shipping problems. I think anything coming across the Indian Ocean has to go around the Cape, around the South Cape of Africa now because of all the freaking problems in the Red Sea.
Everybody's got to deal with that, I suppose. So, you know.
Yeah, but it does put a crimp on on shipping your product to customers, though. You can't argue with that. I mean, transportation is starting to become an issue again.
Yeah, I pay for my paint. I pay $45 from America for my paints to get here in Australia. That's just $45 about a kilo postage.
Yeah, that's not cheap. Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's why But
right. Well, I had an Icky Sticky delivery come.
Is it a reason that you pay the extra cost because if you order from America, it's there quicker than if you try any other way, or is that it? Is it the turnaround time?
Basically, it's the bloke. I know the bloke. Yeah. I get along with him well, and he's a family business that his wife looks after all the invoicing, distributing, stuff like that. And basically, I like to help out the family in that way. And he makes up his own paints as well. So, and I just like to help out. I mean, I know, Jim, you're a bit involved with outlaw paints. It's just I asked the question going back probably 2 or 3 months ago about outlaw paints. I didn't get a response, at all. And I thought, okay, oh well, don't want to know me. Okay, fair enough. And then I latched onto this other company that gave me a quick response, looked after me, and I've stuck with them ever since.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, so I had a delivery from Icky Sticky sent to me a month or so ago, and it was quite good. The shipping was only $25, and that was up to about, I think it was 3 kilos. And I thought that was pretty reasonable considering it was glue. So I bought this, which probably classes under same as sending paint, right?
Yep.
And yet liquid, I would guess, would go under that.
Yeah, and it was sent from the time I put the order in. I had it in 5 days. I had it here in my hands in 5 days. So
that's pretty
okay.
Well, Hobbytime's got a good point there. The shipping is what I mean. They're having a problem with Tamiya too. Tamiya is a hard find product in the UK as well. Yeah,
the 3 kilos of outlaw paints is quite a lot. That would cover quite a bit of what I would need and I'd be happy to pay $25 for the shipping. So. Anyway, we'll see.
Couldn't hear you, Andrew. Your sound is kind of spotty.
I said to Gremlin he's leaving, so I said take care of that ankle.
Oh yeah. I hope that doesn't get too bad, Gary.
Yeah.
But Jim, you've seen the XY Falcon, seen the paint job on that. I use new tools for that to bring up that polish, and it came
Right.
up.
Yes, the buffing wheels. I saw that. I wanted to ask you, how do they work? You put them in a Dremel tool, or can you put them in some? I mean, what I'm concerned about is the speed control, because obviously you go too fast, you're going to take the paint right off.
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct. I got a Dremel.
Yes.
I put it on low speed. You've
Right.
got this yellow attachment that has already got the piece on it. So you tighten that up, put it in. You've got your coarse, medium, fine pads, right?
I
that
saw
you
those.
get. Yeah. They're Velcroed on, so you can rip them off and put the. So
if you want to replace them, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And believe you can get aftermarket ones, but I wouldn't advise to do that because they can fling off because they're cheap and nasty because the Velcro doesn't last at all. These ones are excellent. I probably would get about eight models before I have to, the Velcro
I see what
starts
you
going.
mean. You get that much use out of them before you need to replace it.
That's correct.
Okay, I got it. All right.
Yeah, and
they look great. Where'd you find them?
These are from the bloke called Pro Scale Models, Pro Scale
Pro
Paints.
Scale. Yeah, I just saw the name mentioned. There it is.
Yeah.
Paul uses that paint. Outlaw.
That's
and
right.
Pro Scale.
Yeah.
Okay. Australia brand?
No, he's an American.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I get all my paints from Pro Scale Paints.
I see. I'm writing all this stuff down, guys, because I want to check this stuff out too. Is that Pro Scale? Is that enamel or is that lacquer?
He's got both.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got both. He makes up his own his own color paints. He can make up paints on your request, no extra charge for those paints. And he's got if you're doing cars, he's got the distributor caps already made up. He's got that as well as the buffing pads. Good shiny silver colors, and what else has he got? Various bits of tools that he's got on there as well. So check it out. It's great paints. I'm happy with the paints. That's so that's what they are.
They're in the UK, right?
Yeah.
That's what Paul is saying.
Yeah, I'm just looking at their site now. Okay. And have you actually you've used Outlaw paints, haven't you?
No.
Oh, you haven't? No. Okay. I'm just wondering how they spray and how they go on. Are they pre-mixed? Do you need thinners in these, or are they out of the bottle?
No. These are ready to go for the gun. And you could, and like Paul has said, like I could probably get about 3 cars out of this. Out of this bottle. So
it's pretty good value.
It's very good value. Like say for instance, you get 30 mil. Yeah. Say for instance, you pay we got Tamiya, right? You got 10 mil with a Tamiya, and that's about $5 here in Australia to buy, right? You go to Pro Scale, which you get 30 mils, and I pay only about $8. So that's a good buy.
Yeah. Even if you put 50% thinner. Yeah, even if you put 50% thinner in the Tamiya, that's still only going to bring it up to less than what you're getting there in those Pro Scale. So.
Yeah.
This Pro Scale, do they do military colours too?
You'll have to look into that because I've been concentrating on sort of like the cars and bikes and Formula Ones, but have a look into that. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check them out too. I mean,
yeah.
I tell you what, the thing I got to stop doing is buying a paint that just comes along to try it. My inventory is all over the place, and I want to start sticking with what I know works. And I've got a lot of those, mind you, but still, I'd like to keep it to a minimum. or not a minimum, but I mean, I think you know what I'm talking about, guys. It's so easy to wind up with what like how many different brands of paint are out there, for God's sake, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I use Tamiya for military vehicles because it's a lot hardier and it's a lot easier to spray in the warmer climate. And I use Vallejo for me figure painting.
Yeah,
Paint are getting like craft beers. It's like craft beers. You know, there's so many.
Okay, those are the wheels, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
The yellow one is your one that you stick on the end of your Dremel.
Yep.
And then it's got the Velcro on the end of the yellow pad, and then you stick coarse fine, and then
right. Okay.
do it.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's the way that XY came out using these pads, and I use for my compounds. I use Maguire's coarse, and then fine.
I think we got an answer from Paul, Andrew, on your question about military colors from Pro Scale. Peter, go down to the last comment.
Yeah.
There it is. Only car colors from Pro Scale.
Yeah, it looks like that on their website. I had a quick look. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Andrew, I wanted to ask, and Peter, you probably can. GB, you guys can get Tamiya enamels, right? Out there, you guys can get Tamiya enamel paints.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We can't get them here in America. Not that I have an urge to get them. It's just that I see them on channels. Other channels use them, and I noticed that we can't get their enamel paint.
I've never used them. Never used enamel paint mainly because the smell. You know.
Yeah. Pretty easy to get the Tamiya enamels here. We've got heaps of them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Why can't you get them up there?
Why I can't? I don't know. That's a good question. And like I said, I don't use enamels that much anymore, except for maybe brush painting. I don't use them for spraying because acrylic lacquer or straight lacquer paints work so well. I mean, like Outlaw and SMS and AK, you got to really thin. You got to go 70-30 at least. But when you do, the stuff flows like ink from a pen. It's beautiful. AK is one of the best out there. That shit is. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little too emotional, but it just works great, and their color range is superb. I mean, I'm talking about military colors. You know,
I had the opposite experience with AK. I couldn't get it to work at all.
Which one? The acrylic or the lacquer?
The air one. I don't know which one it was.
You might be doing the third gen.
I'll be back in a minute, guys. Just got to fix up my dog for some brekkie.
Okay. Yeah, if you're going with the third gen air, that's okay stuff. I bought one and I made it work, but it's a lot more work to get that stuff to spray through an airbrush than I want to go through. Their AK real colors, that's the lacquers. Those things work
real
fine. As long as you thin them out, they work great. I've never had a problem.
Yeah, real color is very similar to Tamiya.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Andrew, can you guys get the Tamiya lacquer paint line, the straight lacquer? Can you get those?
Yeah, get all of them.
Yeah, because that is really good stuff. I've got some, and they're smelly as hell. The odor is just freaking awful. You got to ventilate. You got to put a respirator on.
I got this
spray
stuff.
as smooth as silk. What's that? Acrylic thinner.
By Skull Color, right? And there's gloss varnish.
Okay.
Skull Color, right?
All right.
It's just a craft beer brand over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's like a local thing, huh?
Yeah, but it was bought in a shop where they mainly have Gundam stuff, right?
Okay.
So I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. Why not? And apparently this is supposed to be good with Tamiya paints to thin them.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll give it a go.
Another good one for Tamiya and AK Real Color is Mr. Color thinners. Mr. Color thinners leveling thinner is really good.
Yeah. That is the panacea of thinners, Andrew.
Yeah. When I undid this and took the seal off, the smell from that almost put me unconscious. I swear to God, I won't touch this. I should have thrown it out. I don't know why I'm still holding on to
Well,
it.
you don't want to throw out something like that in the trash.
It is toxic, eh? Like seriously, I can't open this.
See,
thing in this apartment. It will stink it out for
come
days.
across an acrylic thinner that is that bad.
Bad. And then the gloss varnish, I haven't even attempted that, but I'm pretty sure that would chew up any paint surface I attempt to spray it on. So I'm not.
Well, you got to experiment with all this stuff, especially if you're going to mix things. That's why I think some people are having mixed results, because these acrylic water-based paints, they all seem to have their own thinners that work well. Like AK third gen thinner works with both Vallejo and you know, the best thing to do is you either track down guys who've done experiments with this on YouTube. YouTube is your friend, or you do it yourself. You know, I've tried it myself, like seeing how things mix and how they work and how they cover. Excuse me. Okay. And that's the best way to go about it, because then you know what'll happen. But it seems like you're walking a little bit more of a fine line with these water-based acrylics, because they seem to work within a certain spectrum. I'm talking about thinners. I'm talking about working with certain thinners. Even the gloss varnishes. Sometimes it's just best to stick with the brand that they use. I've heard problems like you put a one clear on a different brand acrylic and it seems to mess it up. You guys, you guys watch Hot Workbench Hobbies? That Aussie named Clayton, he builds a lot of tanks.
No, I don't know that one.
No, I don't know.
Look him up. He's a great modeler. Workbench Hobbies is the name of the channel. He's got his YouTube channel.
I know him.
Andrew?
Yeah, I met him at a model competition a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he builds great models, and I subscribe to his channel, and I've got him on notifications. He usually posts on Fridays here in America.
Okay, I'll jot that down, so I'll check it out.
I find that.
I don't know if he does some. He doesn't do much beyond military, but the stuff he does is incredible.
Yeah,
a lot of the paints
when it comes to the paints, I work on. You see, like you said, Jim, you see all these people with their different formulas, but I work on the principle. I use the company's own thinner because that's what it's designed to develop for. So, and you're going to get a better result by using that company's thinner rather than trying to use something else.
Right, I agree. Yeah, and you know, it seems like you got a lot more leeway with enamels and lacquers. Like, for instance, you were just saying about the Mr. Color leveling thinner. That works with Tamiya lacquers. It works with AK. It works with Mr. Color. I've even used it in enamel paints, and it works.
It's fun. And it makes the paint spray a lot more evenly because it levels itself out.
Yes. I use the leveling thinner. They've got standard thinner, rapid, and the leveling. I like the leveling thinner because it does just what you said. It spreads it out, so that if you do get an overspray, it'll force it to even out and it'll dry much more consistently.
I get my leveling basically from the 2K, not from the paint itself.
Yeah.
Because my last spray with 2K, I put in more thinners, which helps level it out.
Yeah, it really does come down to mixing. It really does come down to mixing properly the paint, because I've got Hataka paints. I don't know if you guys use those, but Hataka lacquers. They're a brand from Poland, and there was a distributor here in America. I got a whole bunch of their paint sets. They're great colors, but the pigment is heavy, and you have to thin, because if you don't, it's just going to spit out of the airbrush, and it's just going to look like shit. So you have to thin them real carefully.
Yeah, I've got some Hataka too.
Only the clear coat really needs leveling. Okay.
Yeah, Hataka, I usually do 60-40, 60 thinner, 40 paint.
Yeah, I sometimes push it to 75-25, but not too often. But when I'm doing fine work, like I was just doing a Messerschmitt, a BF-109, and it had the modeling on the side of the fuselage, and I was using Hataka lacquers, and when I thinned it real thin, it gave me that control where you could just like literally draw it on, because it's coming out nice and light, and then you just draw it in, and then you make another pass, and then another pass, and you got it just right. And for me personally, mixing paints is a hit or miss thing. I'm not very good at it. I try my best, but it's, I can get it right, and find that sweet spot. And then the next time I'm struggling. Oh, I thinned it out too much. Now it's
as
running
much as
all
the
over.
quality of the paint is going on, to me, I think what ranks higher for me is the cleanup and swapping between colors and cleaning your airbrush out. If that's simple and easy and quick, I can deal with the quality going on and how surface sits on the paint. I want a paint that I can clean up with water, preferably, and it's simple, and I don't have to use expensive thinners to clean my airbrush.
Well, then you should use
And
Tamiya.
it's not going to damage the rubbers in the airbrush or anything
Tamiya
like
acrylics
that.
would work for you then, Peter.
This is why Outlaw Paints was so simple for me to use, because it was simple. I bought that acrylic thinner from Super Cheap Auto in the big 5-litre tin.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. Yeah.
And it's
but isn't that heavy duty industrial scale stuff?
Mate, had no effect on my airbrush. It was fine. Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I just worked that through. Paint would come out and it would be clear and the next colour go in.
It's for the spray.
Yeah.
It's for the spray painting industry. That stuff. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've used it and had no problem.
Yeah, I mix my own paints and all that too. I'm a panel beater and spray painter by trade. So.
Oh, okay.
I gave my paints and everything to Paul, and he's finished it. He would too, the way he goes through.
Paul is one of the most industrious model builders I have ever seen.
But it is.
There's a friend of mine who's a retired police officer, and he's always been a model builder. And I'll tell you, he'll start something, and by the end of the week, he's got the first coat of paint on there. He's got a system down, and he does keep his kits to, some of them for the most part are fairly simple to build, but there are times he buys like state-of-the-art Airfix kits, and some of those do have a fair amount of detail. And it's not so much the amount of work; it's just that he sticks with it. And like I said, by the end of a 7-day week, he's got paint on it already. If the damn thing isn't done.
But the paint cleanup is important, because I can go out there, do my spraying, and then flush it through, and then go out there the next day and it's ready to go. Whereas if you don't clean your airbrush properly, and you start to try to pull that needle out, you realise that you need damn pliers to get the thing out because paint's dried in there. And
well, that's up to the user. That's up to the user. I clean my airbrush after every color. Now sometimes it's a quick change where I just run thinner through because I'm going to run another color, the same brand or the same type of paint, like lacquer, for instance. It's very forgiving and easy. But if I'm spraying an enamel, I'll take the needle out, I'll take the nozzle off, and I'll clean everything out really good, because enamel, I have found anyway, my own experience, requires a really good cleanup. Now, I clean regularly, and I'm not talking about stripping down, but I check all that stuff all the time, because I know what you mean, Peter. A friend of mine was using his airbrush regularly, and he kept just running thinner through there after his paint was done, and then he called it a day. As long as the thinner's blowing clean, there's no paint residue in there, he was good. Well, one time he tried to get his needle out, and he couldn't. He got it out, and it had paint caked on it, because I guess somehow it was going back onto the needle and staying there, and he wasn't cleaning.
Well, that happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
That's a constant thing for me. That's just normal. I don't know what the solution is to that.
Well, clean the needle on a regular basis. That's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do. See, some guys don't remove the needle from the airbrush all the time. Yeah. Whether this is right or wrong, I do. I wipe it down, and then I put a little bit of Tri-Flow oil on it, very little, and then clean it off so it's just got a thin film on there. And it slides back in real clean and easy. Yeah. And then I put the rest of the airbrush back together. I don't do a full strip down, but I do clean the needle.
Yeah, but then the needle, when you put it back in nice and clean, is going through all the cake paint that's still in your airbrush.
Well, that's it.
You know what you do there? Don't pull your needle out from the back. Push it forward and take it from the front. So that way.
You're saying when you're going to remove it for the first time, pull it out from the front. Don't go from the back.
Yeah, because all you're just doing is
pulling the paint up through the barrel.
Pull it out through the front. Yeah.
All right. Now, when you put the needle back in, you go the same way from the front back in.
No, when you put it back in, straight through the back.
Okay.
Go straight through the back.
All right, I'll try that.
Yeah. When you're taking the needle out to clean it, always undo it from the back, push it forward, and take from the front.
Right. Okay.
Because all you're just doing is, if you're taking it from the back, you're grinding that dry paint into the channel. That's what you're doing.
You know what I'd like to know is how do you get that paint out of that channel where I guess it's not supposed to be there. I mean, how does it get back there? Is that from when you draw the needle back? The paint kind of gets pulled back onto the.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Because that was the first thing I noticed about double. Because I used single action airbrushes for a long time. For a long time. I had a Posh H airbrush, and that thing is so simple. Literally, a caveman can use it. You can run it over with a car, and it'll work. And I used that for years. And when I got a double action. And I'm only talking within the last 3 or 4 years, I bought a double action. It was like learning how to walk all over again. The double action, you air, then paint, you know what I mean? Air, then paint. And so I was literally watching some YouTube channels and guys who were airbrush artists, and they were showing you how do you use an airbrush. I mean, I was going back to 101, remedial airbrushing. So I had to learn all this stuff, and I'm getting better at it. But I got a really shaky left hand, and it's very difficult sometimes to control that needle. So a lot of times I use that limiter, the thing you wind in the back, and it kind of keeps the. Sometimes I'll do that when I'm working in a fine kind of spray pattern or something like that.
Yeah, I've got the Iwata Eclipse, I think it is, and
that's a great airbrush, Peter. It's expensive, but great.
The nozzle sits in the front, like it just balances in there, and then you screw it in, it holds it on. So you'd have to take that all off and pull your needle out the front, unlike some of the cheaper ones. You just undo that and you can pull the needle out.
Here's a story for you about 5-6 years ago. I was building this Edward Spitfire, and the guy I live with now, he's got 2 Iwata airbrushes. He's had them for over 30 years, maybe even 40. They're old, but they work great. So he borrowed one to me because I was doing the camo on the top. I was doing that freehand. Well, so I call a friend of mine and I said, well, now that I got, because I painted it, and I said, now I got to clean it. What do I do? He says, well, just pull the needle out, clean it out, and then you run some thinner through it. You're fine. Just put the needle back in. Well, when I put the needle back in, I went through the back and I bent the damn needle. Like I had to tell this guy, I was like, oh, by the way, I bent your needle, Well, a few years later, because I kept telling him, I'll get you a new one. He bought a kit you can buy where it straightens out the needle and it can clean needles. It's like a 4-step process, and it's really good. And he wound up resurrecting that needle. He saved it, and that saved me about $40 because I heard Iwata parts are very expensive if you have to replace something. But they're good airbrushes. I'm not knocking them. I'm just telling you, a clumsy ass like me, first time I use one of those, bam, I bend the needle.
I actually did that
last week, did you?
Yeah, I bent a needle for the first time last week. The first time in 4 years that I've bent a 0.3 needle. And oh well.
That happens, man. I mean, what the hell? I
have a spare just in case.
Mistakes are part of the hobby.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever bent a needle, but I do have a spare in case because do that and you're screwed. You can't. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
production stops.
Well,
I got
knock on wood first.
Spare needles.
Oh, hey, John Marley's checking in. Hey, John. Good day, mate.
Hey, John. Upside down.
John.
Good to see you. And good to see you. But anyway, do you have different size needles on that Iwata, Pete?
No, it's all 0.3. I think they all are.
That's perfect. That's fine. That's what I keep in most of mine. I keep a 0.3. That seems to do everything.
Tell you what I have bent though. I've bent the end of my Iwata where the little locking screw on the back when you turn it down.
Yep.
That screw thread thing. It's actually bent like that.
Oh, wow.
Bent it pretty badly. So I have to push my tool in quite hard to get it in, and then that screw sort of goes down, but it's holding it in tight and it works fine. But I don't even know how I did that. It's outside. Maybe it fell on the ground or something, but it's bent.
Yeah, I had that happen with an airbrush. I just bought the thing. Same day I get it. I got it. I'm working on it. Right? I mean, I'm going to use it. And I've got it in one of those airbrush pots, you know, where you put it in there to hold it. Well, me, I hit the hose. The whole thing hits the floor, and the nozzle cap on the outside bends because it hit the floor first. Things about an hour old.
They're pretty temperamental, aren't they? You got to be so careful with them. It's so easy to bend them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they're designed to drop 5 feet onto a floor. As good as they are, I don't think they're meant to handle something like that, you know?
Well, I just didn't work. I just bought a new airbrush from AliExpress about 6 months ago, and I've started using it recently. It's from a mob called Neo Echo, and it's it comes with 4 different needle sizes: 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 0.8.
Wow!
And
0.8. Okay.
Yeah, I find that up here in Cairns, because of the humidity, a 0.2 and a 0.3 doesn't spray Vallejo and all that real well because of the humidity. So I have to use a 0.5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely. A 0.8 would come in handy for something like one of those ships, like a 200 scale. You need something to hit that cover a lot of area.
I use the 0.8 for diorama bases because it's such a big area to cover and you get a broader scope.
You place the cup with a bucket. You go through so much paint.
Well, anyway,
guys, I got to go. But
anyway,
I got to move on.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me jump on.
Yeah,
appreciate
no
it.
GB, don't be a stranger.
So
I won't. Okay. I won't. Hopefully you guys are on next week and I can jump on.
All right.
For sure.
Take care, GB.
See you. Bye.
Later.
Okay. Where are we? That one there. And that's it. Well, we're going to end it anyway. So cheers all. Thank you everybody in chat for coming in. We had quite a number in there today. Pretty good.
Yeah, you got what you got here.
We kept on subject in the end, which was good. Yeah. And well, no, he's gone. There we go. All right. Well,
catch you later, mate.
See you, buddy. Cheers, mate. All right. So there you go. I'll wind it up here now, guys. I'll say goodbye for Jim, who must have dropped out the last sec there, but that's okay. And we'll probably all be back next week again. We'll do this again. And all of you have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep on modeling. One thing I enjoy about these live streams, even though I've got not much to show for it, is it keeps my motivation going, especially when I got to do this. I haven't. Oh, it's painful. I don't know. I got to find. Yeah, I'll pay somebody to do those. I really would. Anyway, but all good. Fingers crossed. I'll be motivated again. I'll sit there and start sanding some of these things and get some bits together. All right, I've got another video to put out next week, haven't I? All right, cheers all. Have a great time. And where is it? Exit live stream. You got to play me a little jingle. There it is. All right. Bye-bye.